Yo, welcome to my little Scrimmage YouTube. Today, we're going to be playing a game with expanded EggRow. If you saw the clickbait, my attempt at clickbait, I'm actually very bad at it, but we just got some, not these, but we got some EggRows, the regular art ones. I love these. I'm a big fan of that card, but we got some regular art EggRows on last month's ladder. So if you're like, how do I use these cards? I got you. This is the deck you can play. It doesn't have to be quite so blinged. Don't worry about that. But this is a disruptive control deck. It is super, super, super fun. I'm not going to go in depth on everything. If you want me to go in depth on everything, I totally can. But the big stuff on this deck is we use super growth. We want to go second. This deck 100% wants to go second. It is built to get this thing in the active spot and use super growth turn one. Almost always, we're using Vileplume with Irritating Pollen. Each player can't play any item cards from their hand. Normally, item lock at one-sided, like a deck like Trevenant, Seismitoad, Vikavolt V is like, I'm going to play items and you can't. This deck, we don't play items. We play 4 tag calls, 1 computer search, and a stealthy hood. And that is it. The tag calls are all a guaranteed turn 1 super growth. We tag call for Guzma Hala. Guzma Hala gets us a capture energy, which can capture out the EggRow, or it can capture out if the EggRow is in the active, the Pokemon we want to evolve into, like an Oddish, whatever. And the Stealthy Hood is here for something like Ultra Necrozma, for example. If they get a tool card on their Trubbish turn 1, there we go. That's the word I'm looking for. If they get a tool card on their Trubbish turn 1, they can evolve it to Garbodor and shut off Irritating Pollen. But we got the Stealthy Hood. Then we actually go through that. So it's an extra card that you can get off your Guzma Hala, and it does play a role in those matchups. We also have Disgusting Pollen Vileplume, which is some auto wins, just like a lot of matchups. Disgusting Pollen, as long as Pokemon is your active Pokemon, your opponent's basic Pokemon can't attack. That is huge. Ranger doesn't go through this. Nothing except Ability Lock or Evolutions goes through this. Big deal there is ADP Dragonite doesn't play any evolutions. You evolve into this, even though Dragonite V has Shred, doesn't matter. They cannot hit it. So it's good for that deck. There's other stuff like you might run into like something like a Tina Chomp, for example, Mad Party. This card auto wins both of those super hard. It's so nice. We also have Deep Forest Camo Decidueye. Same thing. There are some decks that just can't handle this thing. We have Blockade. This is for the control matchup. Your opponent can't play any supporter cards. So you can both item and supporter lock your opponent at the same time. And we utilize, you'll see it in the game, we utilize the Lusamine loop where you constantly recycle supporters over and over and over again. You have an infinite supply. Your opponent doesn't. This deck is built to win under item lock. Every other opponent's deck is built to play items. So that is how this deck actually wins games. Anyway, we're going to watch a game. It's a very good example of kind of how this deck rolls. Every game with this deck is grindy, except the ones sometimes you get Disgusting Pollen, your opponent scoops immediately. Sometimes you item lock and you have to sit there and do the loop and all that stuff. And yeah, let's go ahead and check out a ladder game with the EggRow deck. So we're jumping into a game with our EggRow deck. We're hoping to go second. Going second is very big for this deck. Lost coin flip, that's fine. Our opponent, let's see what they pick. They're making me go first. All right, correct play by them, kind of regardless. Ooh, this hand's not bad otherwise too. We are going to shove this in the active spot, kind of hope it doesn't get KO'd. Even if it does, we have the AZ tag call play next turn. Or sorry, not if it gets KO'd, if it gets hit for not enough damage. And my opponent has a Copycat Mimikyu. Interesting. I do not know what they are playing. I think we are going to throw down the Rowlet and hit them with the pass. If they KO us, we kind of lose the game regardless. But getting a Deci down is not necessarily bad. Yo, the Celebi? Each of your benched Pokemon. This thing can hit a little hard. Oh, geez. They were not in a good spot. Let's see. Day-Day? Day-Day Crobat? Nope. There's a Filch. So my opponent's not going to be very happy with what we're going to be doing. What a top deck. Oh my goodness gracious. Bench this. Throw this down. We're going to burn the tag call because we're about to item lock. Grab Guzma Hala. I already have a Guzma Hala. Grab these two. We're going to Guzma Hala. I should have checked my prizes. That was a mistake. Get rid of this. I think getting rid of the lab is acceptable here. I'm going to want to set up 2 Vileplumes. If this is their only attacker, the second Vileplume will kind of just win us the game. The lab would shut off their Ditto. I don't know what they're evolving into. Let's get rid of the AZ. We can always get the AZ back. Oh my gosh, we have our second lab in the deck. All right, no one pay attention to what I just did. Grab 1, 2, 3. Going to capture, grab another Oddish. Throw down the path. Throw a hood there and go ahead and super growth. Go 1. And item lock for number 2. So we definitely should have got rid of the Silent Lab. I completely forgot that we have multiple of them, so we should have got rid of the AZ. We should have kept the AZ for sure. But now they're ability locked. We're going to be able to try and get out the, what's it called? The basic lock as well seems very good in this matchup. There's the Broken Heart from my opponent. And a Filch. Okay. Cool. So far, so good from us. We're going to Sinlin. Go ahead and get rid of the Silent Lab. Get back the AZ now. I want that. Go here. Check it real quick. It looks very counterboxy. In that case, I think I am a little afraid of them. I think we start swinging with this super growth. We have this in hand, so I'm tempted to grab the Deci, but I think getting this thing out is just too important. Yeah, go there. Next turn we might just AZ the Dartrix, we'll see. So at this point, I mean, we haven't like set up the lock. There's a Filch. All right, well now we're gonna go grab the Deci, and I don't even know if we need it. Can't hurt them. Can also start pinging. No, we can't. Path of the Peak is in play. They have more cards in deck, but we will always deck them out first because that is what our deck is built to do. I also think that grass should have been on the Vileplume, sure. My question is, what is this going to evolve into? That is probably the only thing that can KO this, unless they play multiple. Okay, that does not work under Path. They have a Skyfield in hand. They must have forgotten to do that. Okay, they play Muck. I wonder if Muck is the only... Throw it in the Flare Grunt and hit up. If the Ditto and the... there's no way you play Ditto, because like Collect is a good attack, so there has to be something else they can evolve into. I don't know what it is, though. There's going to be a lot of draw passing here. Yeah, so if we don't activate their counter energies, this thing is also... what can they even attack with? Alright, start dropping Handiworks. Hope they don't play a Giraffe. If they play a Giraffe, that'd actually be a really good Giraffe get. I'm just going to say, you know what, they don't do that. And yeah, we're just kind of this is how the deck works. If you want a fast deck that clears the ladder incredibly quickly, this is not the deck for you. There's a pass. I think we want to start pressuring with this over anything else. And with the done. Ideally, we want to be able to Guzma Downer Shock this at some point. There's the pass. Hit him with another pass. We will eventually win this war, I think. No matter how stubborn they want to be. Unless they've teched for this matchup, which is possible. Guzma Hala. Go and throw it down. Get rid of 1-2. Nothing else is Super Growth 4. Throw the Aromatic onto the Vileplume. And hit done. This prevents any poison shenanigans. We could potentially just sit there and tank long enough. All right, there's the done. Cynthia Caitlin. I'm like really tempted to draw. I really want to get my Lusamines out. Go here, grab the handiwork back. Okay, there's our Lusamine. Beautiful. So now we can start handiwork Lusamine chaining. But that's Cynthia Caitlin, which is like a little slower, but once we get that second Lusamine, we'll be good. The next turn we're gonna go handiwork pass. Yep. And that's how the deck that's how the deck goes. We've plenty of turns to mill them out. We have infinite resources with this thing. Technically, kind of with Cynthia Caitlin too. I was going to use this as an opportunity to check what we mill. Neither of those mattered because they're items, but any evolutions they might have, milling them would also be quite nice. Lusamine, get back Cynthia Caitlin and handiwork. And hit done. We don't really want to start giving them prizes because of the counter energy this thing can evolve, and I don't know. I don't think we're ready for that. I'm pretty sure they can't actually attack outside of maybe energy drive. Actually, so they probably benched the Lele on purpose, right? At some point, we'll probably AZ this thing up too. Handiwork. You'll love to see it. I'm gonna go ahead and hit done. Ooh, the little tomb, and there's the counter energy. Yep, this looks like a deck that is very counter boxy. Cynthia Caitlin. Let's just get back the Lusamine. So we are one turn slower than a Lusamine right now. So we are hoping to draw into our other Lusamine at some point. The next turn will be a Lusamine for CIN and the handiwork. And we only have to... yeah. Lusamine for CIN and handiwork. They do have more cards available to them so far, which is also a big deal for a potential end play. Their hand, there's no hand count. That's right. That would be too nice. For the mercy of the coin flips. Also, eventually top decking a Lusamine would be quite nice. Handiwork. Done. All right, and there's a teammates too. A Zorua. Okay. So there are Zoroarks here, so they can KO this thing. Huh. Cynthia Caitlin, just put a supporter back, grab the Lusamine. Again, we want that other Lusamine at some point. There's an N, which will give us longer to do this Lusamine loop to deck them out. Again, is also very huge. I'm kind of regretting this thing not being the G... I don't know. I don't think getting this thing out was even necessary. And the pass. Handiwork. The Double tails, that's fine. They have 3 more cards in deck than we do. We're going to have to go Cynthia Caitlin next turn for the Lusamine. I'm hoping they don't have like a surprise handiwork. That would be kind of fun. You know what? If we lose because of that, that's fine with me. Cynthia Caitlin, yes, grab the Lusamine. So it sucks having to do this every 3rd turn instead of every 2nd turn. One thing we can do to plus cards, we can AZ the Decidueye back, and that would +2 in our hand before we end. Which wouldn't necessarily be an awful play. And we're going to go ahead and Lusamine for the Cynthia Caitlin and the handiwork. Get done. I wonder what my opponent's waiting for. I wonder like if they have something, or they're hoping that I'm going to make a mistake at some point, which I might have already made a mistake, to be fair. Maybe they're hoping for a lot of that, too, actually. That is a good way for us to lose this game. It's just like multiple double tails. Yep, we're going to go ahead and Cynthia Caitlin. The supporter, go ahead and grab the Lusamine. Maybe they're hoping I don't have a way to shuffle. There's one thing about this version versus the Brock's-Grit version. We have the Klara, which is like cool because it puts it back in the hand, which is kind of where you want it. But it does remove that like infinite loop with Brock's-Grit. Oh, the other Lusamine. All right, now we're rolling. Handiwork. And let's grab the Sinlin. Get done. But we're going to be able to Lusamine loop the handiwork every turn now. Or every other turn. I'm kind of curious if they throw down their own surprise handiwork. Huge. Hit him with the done. So now they are actually behind on cards. They lost. Okay, there's their evolution. Their hand is still larger than ours. I'm going to go ahead and Lusamine. For Lusamine and handiwork. The other good thing about this loop is this can actually plus us cards eventually. And we're going to go ahead and, if they don't disrupt our hand, they might be able to like Colress again. Which would mean we would go handiwork this turn and next turn. Let's see. Do they have the Colress and Marnie? Any of those would be really good here for my opponent. This is the riveting gameplay you all come here for. You clicked on an EggRow video. This is what you should have expected. Altaria, that's fine. Wonder if they're just going to throw down a bunch of stuff from their deck now. There's the end. Okay. So let's take a look. They have 30 cards left available to them. We're in for a long one. Let's go. We have 27, so it's very close between the two. Might actually... Easy up the Deci. Just to get the plus. No, we don't have to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 prizes currently. Cynthia Caitlin. I think I do want to draw. Grab the Lusamine. The sooner we get towards the loop, the better off we can be. Okay, well now we're just going to start plussing cards in hand as well. So we're going to go Lusamine, grab Cynthia Caitlin and Flare Grunt. Hit done. Then we're going to go Cynthia Caitlin for the Lusamine. Lusamine for 2. So we're going to plus 1 card from our discard pile into our hand every single turn. Which would mean, like, a second N would hurt us a little more. Cynthia Caitlin. Just put 1, grab the Lusamine. We'll be able to get all the supporters out of the discard pile into our hand. And then we're just kind of draw passing until we eventually get our handiwork back. But at that point, like I said, I think we'll AZ the Decidueye. Which will plus us some more cards for the future N. Lusamine, 1, 2. Done. And we're just seeing what happens here. Get Caitlin. Grab the Lusamine back. Done. Yo, this is a YouTube video. Oh my gosh, more power to any of you who have made it this far. You are very clearly into stall decks. Because at this point, the game is just, we're just waiting. Waiting for that eventual handiwork. Lusamine 1 and 2. But we're just plussing all cards back. Because if they don't have a way to mill, then they ain't winning. We will eventually win the game. If they ever hit this active for not enough, which I think is what would happen, okay. Okay, I wonder if they're going to start punching me. I'm perfectly fine with that. Grab the Lusamine back. Done. They are. All right, let's go. Faba. Done. That's 2 DCs down. They should have no way to get back the other one. So we're gonna handiwork. You'll love to see it. Got the mute button. Let's go. Lusamine, grab Sinlin and handiwork. Hit him with the done. We have the Flare Grunt and the Plumeria if they get another DCE. And eventually we can just Acerola this thing too, which is kind of cool. There's another DCE. Throw down the Flare Grunt. Done. They can speed dive it 2 more times before we have to Acerola it. They are down 3 DCs. Handiwork. You'll love to see it. It's done. We milled a research, so they can't mill themselves. Unfortunately, we've removed that misplay as a win condition. Counter energy. Double counter energy would work for my opponent. Let's go ahead and Sinlin. Yes. Grab the Lusamine back. Go there. We do have a Sinlin in hand as well, so we can technically Lusamine for multiple disruption supporters, if we would like. There's the done. I'm gonna go ahead and Lusamine now. Grab handiwork and Faba. I also have a Faba in hand. I completely missed that. This hand is too big. Real life, all these cards are at the front and this trash is in the back. I don't care about this. Let's see, how many counters do they have left? 1, 2 down. Okay, they only have a couple counter left. Well, double heads wins. Let's go. go ahead and we still have access to N. Go ahead and just Faba this. Set them back a turn. Oh, actually, we should be hitting this thing with Calming Hurricane to heal. Oh my gosh. Bro, I hope someone watching this noticed that misplay. Let's go there. Go ahead and Cynthia Caitlin. Put back. We don't want the Lusamine back. We want the Fob Flare Grunt back. There we go. Start healing this thing. Next turn we're gonna end. Okay, yeah, they don't have like a cheeky Trick Shovel or anything like that. So N, less cards, that's fine. And there's the surprise face. I don't think they thought I had a way to shuffle my deck. Not the prettiest of ends. They have less cards available to them now, so at this point it's just a matter of when do we win, as opposed to if. Heal 30. There's the well played. I think my opponent is acknowledging that, yeah, there it is. That's how the deck's played. My opponent had a really cool deck, but the fact is the ability law, or sorry, the item lock and everything, it did what it was supposed to do. If any of you are still watching, you are the realist. But remember to like, comment, subscribe, all the other YouTube stuff. That's how the deck goes. There's not other matchups where the deck really goes any differently. It is, you sit there and you grind, you grind, you grind. You know, other matchups aren't even that exciting, like the ADP matchup. You just evolve into the basic lock and then you sit there because you can't shred through it because it says Pokemon can't attack. So yeah, there's not like many very good matchups for the deck. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.